You spent 12 years in school. You can name the powerhouse of the cell. You know the exact date of some medieval battle. And then you turned 18. Someone handed you a credit card, a tax form, and a lease. And you realized you'd been trained for a quiz show that never airs. Money is the one game everyone is forced to play, and almost nobody gets taught the rules. Lose at trivia, you lose points. Lose at this game, you lose decades. So here they are. Every concept that actually runs your life, explained the way school never bothered to. Rule 1 is already stealing from you as you watch this. Start with the sneakiest one. Inflation means the money in your pocket loses buying power while just sitting there. Same $20 bill, smaller pile of groceries every year. And it stacks. Prices today are about 24% higher than in 2020. The weekly cart that cost $150 in 2019? $186 now. Here's the part the news never explains. When inflation, quote, falls to 3%, unquote, prices don't come down. They just climb slower. Your cash is an ice cube. The question is never if it melts, only how fast. And no, this isn't a reason to panic. It's a reason to understand the next rule, because inflation quietly punishes exactly one strategy: doing absolutely nothing. So if saving alone slowly loses, what actually wins? Hold that thought. This is the one Einstein allegedly called the eighth wonder of the world. He probably never said it. Doesn't matter. The math is still absurd. Compound interest means your money earns money, and then that money earns money. It's not a snowball. It's a snowball with a gym membership. Quick trick. The rule of 72. Divide 72 by your yearly return, and that's how many years your money needs to double. At 8%, your money doubles roughly every 9 years. Do nothing. It doubles. Wait longer. It doubles again. That's why starting at 20 beats starting at 35 by an embarrassing margin. The last double is always the biggest one, and the late starter simply never gets it. Time in the game beats timing the game, beats talent, beats almost everything. The lazy teenager who starts early retires ahead of the genius who waited. Sounds like a superpower, right? It is. Now here's the plot twist nobody warns you about. This superpower has a dark side, and it's probably in your wallet right now, because compound interest doesn't care whose side it's on. Put money in investments. It compounds for you. Leave a balance on a credit card. It compounds for the bank. And your card isn't charging 8%. The average credit card in America charges over 20% a year, some closer to 25%. Run the rule of 72 backwards. At 24%, your debt doubles in 3 years. That $12 lunch you swiped and forgot? Pay minimums long enough and you effectively bought lunch for the whole bank branch. This is why the average American now carries about $6,300 of card debt, and why 55% of adults use credit cards just to survive the month. Total card debt in America, over $1.25 trillion. Trillion, with a T. All of it compounding against its owners, every single night, including right now. The system runs on one simple sort: people who collect interest and people who pay it. Every dollar you own is on one of those two teams. And speaking of the bank watching your every move, there's literally a number they use to judge you. It's called a credit score. A number between 300 and 850 that decides your apartment, your car loan, sometimes even your job application. And the recipe is public. Almost nobody reads it. 35%. Do you pay on time? One late payment hurts more than anything else. 30%. How much of your available credit are you using? Keep it under 30% of your limit. Under 10 is elite. 15%. How long have you had credit? Never close your oldest card. It's your financial birth certificate. The last 20%. Don't apply for 5 cards a month. Have a healthy mix. That's it. That's the whole exam. And notice what's not on it. Your salary. A waiter with perfect habits can outscore a lawyer who pays late. Pay on time, use little, stay boring, and the number that runs your life quietly climbs while you sleep. Now the concept that makes grown adults say genuinely insane things. I don't want the raise. It'll push me into a higher tax bracket. Relax. That is not how any of this works. Tax brackets are marginal. The higher rate only applies to the slice of income above the line. Cross the border, and only the money past the border pays the higher toll. Everything below is taxed exactly like before. A raise can never, ever leave you with less money in your pocket. Refusing one to, quote, save taxes, unquote, is turning down free cake because the last bite has a tax on it. Take the cake. Take the raise. Always take the raise. Schools spent an entire semester on volcanoes, statistically unlikely to affect your paycheck, and never mentioned this once. Here's the sentence that separates rich thinking from broke thinking. An asset puts money into your pocket. A liability takes money out. That's the entire test. Stocks paying dividends feeds you. A rental that pays rent feeds you. The brand new car on financing eats you. Payment, insurance, repairs, and it loses value the second it touches the street. The trap. Liabilities love dressing up as assets. The luxury watch, quote, investment, unquote. The bigger apartment, quote, for the future, unquote. If it only costs and never pays, it's not an investment, it's a pet. Rich people buy things that feed them, then let those things buy their toys. Broke people buy the toys first, on a card, at over 20%. Same salary, opposite direction. Why is your rent insane? Why did concert tickets triple? One rule runs it all. Many buyers plus few things equals price goes up. Few buyers plus many things equals price goes down. That's it. That's the invisible hand, and it's usually in your pocket. Want it in real life? America is short millions of housing units, and homes for sale are near a 30-year low, while everyone who locked a cheap mortgage refuses to sell. Huge demand, starved supply, and that's why the house wins the bidding war and you don't. Same rule explains the surge price on your ride home, the sneaker resale market, and why your favorite neighborhood got expensive the moment it got popular. It's not a conspiracy, it's an auction, and you were born into it mid-bid. Investing rule number 1, taught by every grandmother ever. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. In money terms, if your entire savings is one stock, one crypto coin, or one, quote, guaranteed, unquote, tip from your cousin, you don't have an investment. You have a lottery ticket with extra steps. Spread across many companies, industries, countries, and one crash becomes a bruise instead of a funeral. Boring? Deeply. But the market pays the patient egg sorter and eats the gambler. If a single bad headline can delete your net worth, it was never a portfolio. It was a bet with a nicer name, now the unsexiest superpower in finance. An emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of expenses parked, untouched, doing nothing. But Bill, it doesn't grow. Correct. It's not supposed to grow. It's supposed to catch. 41% of Americans got knocked off their financial plan by one unexpected expense. One transmission, one root canal. And without a cushion, that bill lands on a credit card. Hello, Rule 3, 20+%, evil twin. 60% of people fear a single illness could ruin them. The emergency fund is the difference between a bad month and a bad decade. It's also the difference in how you sleep, how you negotiate, and how you say no to a bad job. Money in the bank is spine you can withdraw. Build it before you invest a single dollar. It's the seatbelt. You buy it before the crash, not during. Almost done. But this one changes how you see every purchase forever. Everything you buy has two prices, the number on the tag, and what that money could have become instead. That's opportunity cost. The $1,000 phone upgrade isn't $1,000. It's the $2,000 it would have been in 9 years at 8%. Remember Rule 2. Spend your 20s financing liabilities, and the real bill isn't the payments. It's the compounding decade you gave away. This doesn't mean never buy anything nice. It means know the full price before you pay it. Rich people run this math automatically. Broke people only ever read the tag. The most expensive things you'll ever buy are the ones that looked cheap. Last rule, and it rewires everything. Your income is not your wealth. The scoreboard is net worth. Everything you own minus everything you owe. That's why the 200K guy with the leased sports car, the maxed cards, and the designer everything can be, mathematically, poorer than a school teacher with a paid-off apartment and boring index funds. Salary is how fast money flows in. Net worth is how much actually stays. Stop asking what do you earn. Start asking what do you keep. Track that one number twice a year. Watch it move. And every rule in this video suddenly has a scoreboard. The flex is silent. The scoreboard doesn't lie. 11 rules. 12 years of school. And every single one of them fit in one video. Now the uncomfortable follow-up. If the rules are this simple, why does literally everyone, even people earning 6 figures, still feel broke? That answer involves your phone, your brain, and a $1 trillion illusion. Next video, subscribe so you're there when we break it.